Hi. Hey. How are you? Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and that's because one of the most common questions that you guys ask me is how I create my YouTube videos. How do I create movie magic? Like with these amazing basketball shots I did in a video last summer.
Hey, that was pretty good. Honestly, I think I can feel something in my feet with these shoes.
Believe it or not, that was a trick right there. An illusion of the camera. Okay, obviously that was a joke right there, or at least I hope that was obvious. You guys want to know the juicy stuff. What's my process? How do I edit my videos? Well, lucky for you guys, Epidemic Sound, one of my favorite services that I use to create my videos, recently approached me and they asked me, Steve, what's something you're really excited about making lately? And so I said, this. I think it would be cool to do a little video creation process tutorial. So here we are. Big thanks to Epidemic Sound for sponsoring this video and for allowing me to bring this type of content to you guys. So first things first, I want to make it very clear that I am by no means a professional video maker. I have never worked in the film industry. I have never been formally trained or taught how to film, how to edit, or anything like that. I have only pretty much just taught myself how to make videos. So I don't know what is the right way to do any of this. I only know what works for me. So instead of trying to teach you how to create and edit by the book, I'm just going to try and reverse engineer what I've been doing, and hopefully that can help you. Step 1, going from 0 to 1. The most challenging part of pulling off a good edit, in my opinion, is not necessarily having or knowing all the fancy tricks, having the right plugins and effects and all of that stuff. It's more the act of going from 0 to 1, from turning that blank page into something that you can actually use to create a video. A great book on this is The War of Art by Steven Pressfield, and he breaks down a bunch of different strategies for fighting against that creative block that a lot of creative people face. I myself find me sitting down in front of a computer on many mornings staring at a blank page, and I don't know what to do with myself. I stare at it and I kind of go, come on, start working up there. A helpful trick. So I learned this little trick that I use that helps me a lot. Instead of going first thing and trying to start my day by writing, trying to turn that 0 into a 1, I'll go and find something that I'm already currently working on, whether that's a video that I need to edit or something that I need to edit my writing. I'll go and do that. I'll go and try and alter something that I've already created. In this way, I don't have to create something from nothing. I'm doing something much, much easier. I'm just altering something that has already been created. This seems to have an effect on the mind that kind of gets it going, that gets the gears turning. So then when I do turn my attention to the blank page, I find it much, much easier to actually get started, and the ideas they really start flowing. Step 2, setting the tone. So far, you may have noticed that we haven't actually jumped into the computer yet. You may think that we haven't actually started talking about the editing process yet. But for me, a good edit is all about what comes before the computer editing process. I like to have everything planned out as much as possible before I actually jump into the computer and start editing a video. And this especially includes the tone of the video. Tone can be conveyed in a lot of different ways, like your color grade, the lighting, or the composition of your image. But for me, my favorite way to actually convey a mood or a tone is the sound. To show you what I mean, I'm gonna head over to the place where I get all of my music and sounds. So this is Epidemic Sound. This is where I get all of the good stuff. Now I'm going to show you a couple different things that I really love about this particular platform. And the first one is right here. You can see that you can link your YouTube channel to Epidemic Sound, so it's very easy to manage the copyright of your music, and also it gives you these great recommendations as well as more of what you like, as you can see here. So as I'm working on a project and I'm looking for more music that goes with what I've already created, this makes it super easy because I can just go to the main page and I can see all these different suggestions that might be in line with what I've already been working on. This here shows you recommendations based on music that's across your entire channel. So if you want to kind of fit the general vibe of the videos that you've been creating, or here it'll show you on your most recent download. So if I'm working on a particular video and I need more music that's very similar to what I've already downloaded for it, well, that's going to be found right here. Now, let's say I'm just kind of starting fresh. I'm starting fresh on a video and I'm looking to find some things that might fit the vibe, and none of these recommendations are working for me right off the bat. One of the first places that I'll go to find some new music is the albums. And the reason I go here to the albums is finding new music for me is all about finding good curated lists of music, because there's obviously a huge abundance of music out there. What's super important is to be able to find the type of music that fits into what you're looking for. So these different albums here are essentially curated lists that have either been done by Epidemic Sound or different creators. You can see there's a bunch of creators here who basically create their own little mini albums of music that they really like, that they want to then share with other creators. I think this is great and super helpful. So I look through these all of the time to find some new great music. For example, if I was looking at this right now, right away, Feel Good Hip Hop is one that speaks to me, and I think I can probably find something in here that I like. And I know that for me, this artist right here, Dusty Dex, is one in particular that I really like. And you can see that's just like, I don't know, that's the right sound for a lot of things that I create. It's kind of just, it's laid back, it's happy, it's not too overpowering, and that's kind of the general vibe that I want some of the time. So that's why I really like looking through these albums. You know you're going to get some really good curated lists of music to start your search. And then once you've found something that you like and you're like, okay, I want to maybe see if I can find something similar, find more of this type of music, you can actually click on this little button here, and this is going to bring you into similar music. So obviously we're going to have some more Dusty Dex here, but we're also going to have some from other artists as well. And it's going to be along similar lines. Okay, so now let's put a little bit of this theory into practice. Let me show you how I've kind of used music to set the tone in some of my videos. Specifically, I want to look back at one of the very earliest videos I've ever made on the channel. Actually, it's going to be the very first one, yeah, because I was trying to set the tone for what's the tone of Cash College going to be like? How's that all going to fit into the branding me and my girlfriend kind of worked on and everything like that. So I'll show you it here. You'll see. Example 1. Okay, I have to show you something else actually. I'm going to show you a little bit more of this video because, man, I forgot that I did this. This seems so long ago, but I guess it's only like a year and a bit ago. But man, I can't believe I did this stuff for this is my very first video.
I proceeded to lock myself into a small cubby that made Harry Potter's broom closet look like a penthouse and study relentlessly for years and years. And once I emerged with my knowledge and a potent smell that stung the nostrils.
Okay. I was also sick here. You can tell my voice is really nasally. I had a cold. This was before COVID. It wasn't COVID. But yeah, I can totally notice that in my voice. And I remember being pretty sick when I did this, but I was like, I gotta create this video anyways. But man, I can't believe I dressed up like this. Oh, I was so nervous to release this video.
I stood by a window looking pensive and thoughtful and said, "Who am I to release this to the world?" But then I remembered what a wise man once said in 2015.
Do it!
I don't know.
Just do it!
I know it's my dream, but...
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true!
All right, I'll do it.
Okay, so, oh man, I forgot about the Shia LaBeouf thing. It's so funny because one of my uncles had watched that first video because, you know, I told my whole family, I was like, everybody watch my videos. I don't know if anybody's going to watch them, but at least you guys do so I can get a couple of views on it. And he saw the Shia LaBeouf part, but he didn't recognize that as him. So he thought, oh, that was really funny, eh? He's pretty Canadian, so he's got a Canadian accent. He's like, that was pretty funny, eh? So I guess you just had your buddy stand on the balcony, eh, and yell at you there. And I was like, nah, it's definitely not my buddy. That was just the green screen effect with Shia LaBeouf. But yeah, so anyways, back to the music and the tone. What I wanted to create there was kind of like you know, like a very light-hearted, kind of comedic tone to it. So I thought that that type of music really fit it very, very well. And I also want to really encourage you to find music that really speaks to you. I find on YouTube there is a lot of similar music that you hear, right? It's a lot of very like upbeat kind of hype music to get you very engaged in the video, but if that doesn't speak to you, it generally doesn't really speak to me. Don't feel afraid to try out other styles of music. This music is very slow in comparison to that, and a lot of people probably felt that this intro was pretty slow, but I liked it. I thought it fit, and that was important to me. Example 2. The next example I want to show you of how music can really help convey tone in your videos is from my video, Why I'm Pursuing Financial Independence. This is about 3/4 through the video, and you'll see here how I used a piece of music to really switch the tone between this kind of more running kind of vibe to the music. It was kind of running, marching, building, and then switches to a much more mellow, somber, slow, reflective piece. Financial independence is not about money. It's about everything else. So that shift there, it might not seem like a really big deal. It might seem simple, but I don't know, to me that makes all the difference. And it especially, I think it's reflected in this particular shot you see here. It's kind of nighttime, it's darker, it's very blue except for the warmth given off by the light. So that's how the music plays into the tone, which also plays into the lighting and the color grading and the composition of this particular image here. And that, at least to me, I think that's why I decided to do it this way. And for me, I think it really works. You might think something completely different, but I'm really happy with the way that one turned out. And this particular track that I'm using here to do that shift, it's actually the stems of that particular track. It's not the entire track of music. The other really, really cool thing about Epidemic Sound is it allows you to basically choose if you want to download the full song, so all the different layers of instruments and vocals, or you can download them as stems. So you can separate out the melody, the instruments, the bass, the drums. So if you're listening to a particular song and you like maybe just the melody, you really like the melody line, but you don't want all the other musical information in there, you can download just that melody. So that's, to me, is huge, and I do that all the time. If at this point you're like, yo, Epidemic Sound, this is sick, Just check out my link in the description down below and you can get your first 30 days for free. So you can try it out, see what this is all about, see if it's gonna work for you and your creativity. And yeah, I really hope it does. Step 3. Moving the story along. Okay, so we've gone from 0 to 1, we've got some ideas down, and now we've begun to shape those ideas by using the tone we are trying to convey. So at this point, I'm probably able to write out a script and have a plan down on how I'm actually going to be shooting this video. Now, I obviously can't cover that entire process in one single video, but if you guys are interested in learning more about that, please let me know, and I can think about putting together some type of resource for you. After the video is shot and I have a basic edit done, the next thing I will do is go in and add some very important tweaks. Now, these tweaks really help move the story along, and to me, they make the difference between a good video and a great video. Now, when you're watching the video, you might not even notice these. They're kind of more like a subconscious hint to your viewer to shift their attention and their emotions in different directions. Let me show you what I mean. Example 1. So this is the most recent video I released. Now, at the beginning of this video, I kind of edited it to be almost like a little sitcom comedy thing is what I was going for. I hope that ended up landing anyways, but you can see how the vibe changes drastically from this to the next screen that you see after this little sitcom skit.
Isn't our boy beautiful?
Yeah, I can't believe he's already going to have to start saving for a down payment on a house.
Yes, you will. You'll be a 60-year-old first-time home buyer.
Would you be able to, like, describe what inflation is? Like, do you feel as though you have a good understanding of what inflation is and why it exists and all these things?
I would say absolutely not.
Okay, so you can see that in the sitcom skit, there was a lot of sound. I have layers of audience cheering, clapping, laughing. And then I have within there a little thing called a riser. Now, if you're going to be using Epidemic Sound, you can go on and search through sound effects, search a riser. And this is, well, here, I'll just show you. Okay, if we go to sound effects and we look up, there we go, riser, I'll play one for you. So that's that type of thing. It kind of just increases that tension and then cuts it off. So buried within that transition, I have this riser that helps bring that kind of crescendo of sound and then cuts completely off to the quiet. There's no music and you just hear my voice asking my uncle a kind of serious question. So it shifts that mood from something of like funny, upbeat, we're laughing, we're having a good time, to something that it's like, whoa, it's quiet, I gotta pay attention. This seems kind of serious. Example 2. I have another example of that as well in my Money Gives Me Anxiety video. So in this video, there's a bunch of different sounds layered, but in the background, all throughout that, is this really long riser that helps pull the tension up to this really high point before it finally cuts off.
COVID causing the worst, and now the New York money anxiety is that right? Worst.
So again, there you could hear the heartbeats, you could hear the sound of the keyboard, the picking up the food, all the different things coming together really fast. And in the background, there's that riser, which you might not even pick out necessarily if you're not listening for it. But that to me makes all the difference. That riser being there is what makes that rise to where it needs to be, and then cuts off to this scene where it's very different, it's very serene, it's very quiet. You have the seagulls in the background, which I actually added a sound effect there for, so there you go. Sound effects to me make a huge difference as well. And so there you have it. I think I will cut it off there for now, but there's a little sneak peek into how I kind of plan, create, and then edit my videos. I really hope that you found it helpful. And a big thank you to Epidemic Sound for making this video possible. And honestly, all of my videos possible, because like I just showed you, I've been using them since the very first video that I created on this channel. So if you'd like to try out a 30-day free trial, check out the link in the description down below. And with all that said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon.